Welcome back to the Jean Piaget series of videos presented by Washington County Community College. In this part 3, we will be taking a closer look at the sensorimotor stage of Piaget's cognitive development theory. The sensorimotor stage lasts from birth until 2 years of age. In this stage, infants will build their knowledge of the world through sensory experiences such as hearing and seeing, with physical or motoric actions such as moving and grabbing. Hence the term sensorimotor. Piaget further divided the sensorimotor stage into its 6 substages. These substages are simple reflexes, first habits and primary circular reactions, secondary circular reactions, coordination of secondary circular reactions, tertiary circular reactions, novelty and curiosity, and internalization of schemes. Let's take a closer look at each of these substages. Simple reflexes is the first substage and takes place over the first month of life. Sensation and action are coordinated primarily through reflex behaviors, such as rooting and sucking reflexes. For example, an infant will suck a nipple or bottle only when it is placed directly in the baby's mouth or touched to the lips. The second substage is the infant's first habits and primary circular reactions. These take place between 1 month and 4 months. In this stage, infants coordinate 2 types of schemes, habits and primary circular reactions. A habit is a reflex that is no longer based on acquiring stimuli. Infants during the first substage automatically sucked when there was a bottle present. In the second substage, the baby may suck when a bottle or nipple is only near. A primary circular reaction is what happens when we try to reproduce an event that initially occurred by chance. For example, an infant accidentally sucks his finger when they are placed in his mouth. Later, he reaches for his fingers close to his mouth, but is unable to coordinate his vision and manual actions in order to reproduce the event. Infants may also accommodate their actions to different events, such as sucking their thumb is different from how they suck on a bottle. During this substage, the infant's own body remains his or her center of attention. The third substage of sensorimotor is secondary circular reaction. It develops between the ages of 4 and 8 months. During this stage, the infant becomes more object-oriented, moving beyond preoccupation with the self. For example, an infant may shake a rattle, then repeat the action for the sake of its own fascination. Although the infant imitates simple actions such as burbling and some physical gestures, their actions are still directed towards objects and not yet goal-directed. The fourth substage, coordination of secondary circular reactions, takes place between 8 and 12 months. During this substage, the infant must coordinate hand and eye movement. Actions become more outwardly directed. Infants begin to combine and recombine previously learned schemes. For example, they may visually inspect a toy while simultaneously exploring the toy through touch. As well, there is now the presence of intentionality to some of the infant's actions. This can be seen when the infant dismisses one object over the preference of another, such as pushing aside one toy to reach for another. The fifth substage, tertiary circular reactions, novelty and curiosity, develops between 12 and 18 months. In this substage, infants become intrigued by the many properties of objects and by the many outputs they can make happen to those objects. For example, an infant may knock 2 blocks together, or drop a block, or slide a block across the floor. Tertiary circular reactions occur when an infant purposely explores new possibilities with the objects, continually doing new things and exploring the results. As well, this substage is where Piaget believed human curiosity and novelty begins. The sixth substage, internalization of schemes, develops between 18 and 24 months. In this substage, infants develop the ability to use primitive symbols. Primitive symbols are internalized sensory images of words that represent an event. For example, Piaget's young daughter saw a matchbox being opened and closed. She later mimicked the event by opening and closing her mouth. This was an expression of her image of the event. This video has taken a look at Piaget's sensorimotor stage and its 6 substages. Although the sensorimotor stage on the surface appears to be less about intelligence and more about movement and action, the reality is that immense and impactful cognitive changes occur from birth to 2 years of age. In our next video, we will explore the pre-operational stage in Piaget's cognitive development theory.